Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Thanks for coming on by and checking out this very special video. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you are. And if you are, go ahead and tell 100 of your closest family members about the Latino Slant and have them subscribe now. Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure that you have all the notifications and all that good stuff. And please tell friends about our special channel. Well, Friday Night Tacos keeps on growing. You know, there's this controversy that the Friday Night Tights panel, when they did the review on Blue Beetle, when they clipped it and put it on up, we did our nice I would say discussion and gave our own perspective on things, but we weren't the only ones. And some people were not nice. They were not nice. So here's what I want to do. I want to bring in a friend of ours. She's been in really cool and supportive of the channel for a while now, and she's seen the film. She has thoughts, and we're happy to bring her on. And then we're gonna get her take on the movie. But then I want to go over this article that's pretty brutal. So right now, let's bring him for the first time on Latino Slant, I believe, at least for a video. 300 Mirrors, Lily.
Hello, Paulie. How are you?
Ta-da!
I'm here.
What's up?
I'm good. I'm just enjoying the afternoon now.
Nice. So, a lot of controversy going on here with this.
Yeah, a lot of controversy that I think is getting blown a little out of proportion.
As they do on social media.
Yeah.
Let's get your take on Blue Beetle, because I know at first you were hesitant about going. So I'm gonna blow you up a little bit, and
Mhm.
why don't you give us your take on the film?
At first, I wasn't really too excited to go watch the movie. I saw the trailers. There were a couple of issues with it that I was like, "Ugh, I don't know. This might not be for me." But
Right.
I have a niece who's 20 years old, and she has a huge crush on Cholo.
Mm.
So, of course, we took her for her birthday, and I actually came out, completely changed my mind about the movie, and I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. I mean, yes, there were like a little couple of things here and there that I was like, really? Like,
Hmm.
why? But overall, essentially, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it, and we're actually going to go watch it again this weekend.
Always, to me, like the best recommendation, like, is like, we're gonna go see it again. You don't have to say anymore. At this time of this video, I've now seen it 4 times. What did your other family members think of the film?
Well, that day I actually went with my niece, my sister-in-law, and my brother.
Hmm.
So all of us, everyone across the board, I could hear everybody laughing the entire time. And then,
Hmm.
of course, when they had the more dramatic scenes, everyone was, just very quiet and very engaged. And afterwards, everyone was just really happy. Everybody was excited. My brother was like, really, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that at all. I really liked it. And I mean, we really enjoyed it. We
Yeah.
really liked it.
Now you run in these circles. You know the fandom, and a lot of people got upset with some of the takes from the director. Batman is a fascist line, and it just turned people off. Like, they're done. Also, too, with the Flash and Ezra Miller, DC.
I don't understand why they market these things that way because
Mm,
it just that little line, when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, come on. Like Batman is one of the most iconic superheroes. People love him. Like why would you put that in there in your trailer when you're supposed to get as many people excited as possible?"
yeah, I think that's the one thing that I 100% agree with the Friday Night Tights peeps, is how they mismarketed this film. Other than that, I disagree with a lot of what they had to say. But from Remezcla, and Blue Beetle video review gets dragged for racist criticisms. Here's what happened. Now, let's just get right to it. They're talking about the Friday Night Tights crew, right? In the video,
Mhm.
which is titled "Let's Talk About It," Blue Beetle, a group of contributors to at Nerderotic Daily, discuss the latrine
Latrine.
latrine aspects of the movie that they didn't like and did it in the most disparaging ways possible. One of them, who calls himself Quarter Black Garrett, asks his cohorts why movies featuring Latino characters have to include Latine so many cultural elements. That whole thing just confuses me, guys. Here you call yourself whatever you want, but we're just Latinos here on the slant.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a Hispanic or Black character in a movie or a show, it's completely centered around that culture, and there's no other aspect of anything else. He says, okay, he happens to be Hispanic. Does every single aspect of his life have to be tacos? Lily, what do you think of that?
Um, I've always said it like a million times on my Twitter. I don't have to see myself in media to, be
Mm-hmm.
able to see myself in a character or whatever, like the person I identified the most with the Avengers was Iron Man. He's not me at all.
What?
But
You're not a millionaire brat?
no,
Multi-millionaire brat?
and most importantly, I'm not a man.
And not a man. Yes,
Not a
no,
man.
we know. We've seen pictures of Lily. Very beautiful woman,
So
Latina.
thank you.
Boom.
So most
Yes.
of the characters that I identify with are nothing like me. So that's just one thing to set that up. But in this case, I don't know. I felt that was kind of like cute. A lot of the things that I saw happening in the movie reminded me a lot of my family.
Mm,
So, not necessarily that I wanted to see myself and be like, oh, well, this is how Mexican people or Latinos are. I want to
hmm
see this, and that's how I'm going to feel represented. Not at all. But the fact that they included some of these things, I liked it because I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly which Theo that would be. I know
Yeah.
which family member would be like that. I really saw myself in Jaime
Oh, I
because
love Jaime.
that's
I
me.
love a lot of them at different times. Now, in regards
Yeah.
to this article, do you think that Friday Night Tights, do you think that they're racist? These people are racist?
No, I've been following them for so many years
Mm-hmm.
and I love so many of them. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because people don't understand the way that they give their critiques. Like, I
Mm,
understand a lot of the stuff that they were trying to say. And from a person, from the outside looking in and seeing this for the first time, I'm like, oh my gosh, why would these people be saying that? But I know how they are. I've heard how they talk, and
yeah.
that's how they give their takes. Whether we agree with it or not, they're
That,
not they're
yeah.
not racist. It's just what their opinion of it is. I mean, they're entitled to have it, right?
Sure. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I think we throw around that R word way too much. What I took away from it was that some of their takes were just ignorant, lacking perspective, really about what they saw on screen. What you saw on screen was very different. There's stuff you just never seen on screen presented that way. But I don't. I personally, I don't have anything against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily agree with a lot of the things either. Like, one thing that stood out to me, that if you've never lived through it, you don't know about it, so you think it's going to be offensive to the people it's representing, but it's not. Like the scene with Jaime when he shows up for the interview and his entire family's there. That's literally my family right now. They're so excited that I'm going to graduate that everyone told me that they're going to go sign up to be a patient of mine at whatever clinic I go uh, work at because they're proud of me. And I wouldn't doubt that they're all going to show up together and make a big deal out of it. I mean, that's just how they are. For my graduation, they had posters made of me. They were all cheering. I could hear them even when the crowd was like really silent.
One thing I didn't bring up in the video before, um, there was that scene where Jaime goes in and he's dressed nice, looks really nice, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, delivers in the back." And the panel took it to task and saying like, "Oh, he's all dressed up. That doesn't happen." Da 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 da. And even before they said that, I listen. I'm very aware of certain things that I wear, and not so much now, but especially when I was a lot younger, in my 20s and 30s, where if there was a certain way I wore like black pants and a white shirt and a jacket or whatever, that I'll look like, like a valet or the help. and I'm and I'm dressed nice, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was wearing a red shirt at Target one time, and I had a
mhm.
bunch of people asking me for help.
That is a thing, and we're educated people. We're like, it's, no one's,
And I mean, it's a common mistake, right? The only thing
sure.
that did get a little crazy to me in the movie was that she kept mispronouncing his name. That was the part that I was like, I really, lady.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, not everything worked in the film, but again, one of the TikTokers that took the guys to task was Senor Baragon or Baragan, right? Baragan. This guy has, with that video, almost 1 million views and quite a few followers. There were like 260,000 followers on his TikTok. Um, this is the video that Fools Gone Wild reposted. Then obviously Remesco took this, but this guy, and along with a lot of other TikTokers, just were like racist this, racist that. Fletcher, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think part of the thing is what they're doing is what they're accusing erotic of doing in a way. They're just kind of flipping it. It's like they're taking the one thing and blowing it out of proportion without any context. And it's kind of like we were saying that some of the things that people think are okay, this is racist. It's just like, nah, this is just stuff that happens all the time. But people will not know it unless it happened to them. So it's kind of like that disconnect. Not necessarily, well, this is just something that's racist or something like that, and it's just too jumped on. A lot of this stuff is just not. It's not that. It's just a joke.
There are plenty more gross comments in the Nerdrotic Daily episode. We will not be sharing, as clicks just drive these types of creators to do more content like this. But one of the worst slights is where they openly ridiculed actress Belisa Escobedo's weight. It's one thing to criticize a movie for things like the acting or the screenplay. It's another to do it in a way that's hateful, ignorant, and targets someone's body. What do you think, Lily?
I mean, I can't say anything. I do that all the time on Twitter sometimes. So I'm not gonna be here and trying to be better than everyone else and say that I'm perfect. I've said things too. I mean, they're giving a critique on a movie. You're gonna pull a lot of things out of it that you don't like. I saw The Flash finally the other day. I could say so many things that have nothing to do with the plot or all of this and that, just because I didn't like it. I mean,
And plus,
So
we are as Latinos, we are the worst at this. This is like
yeah,
not the place to go to. I mean,
no.
you gain like 2 pounds, and right away, gordito, gordita. You know what I mean? That's like we get roasted more with our families than any other people can roast us.
And even someone said in one of the comments, kind of defending the Friday Night Tights panel, was that, do they know that we talk way more shit in Mexican humor, with family members to each other? This is harmless,
Yeah,
you know.
this is innocuous. I
Right.
mean, you get a tan, you're negro. You gain weight, you're gordo. You get thin, you're flaco. It's like forget it. You can't win.
I think look outside looking in is that, who are all these white people to talk this shit about the Mexican culture and Latinos in general? I think that's really, that's really it. I think that's what a lot of this hubbub is. What do you guys think?
I think so. It's just kind of what Fletcher was saying earlier. If this was the three of us saying the exact same comments that they said, I don't
Mhm.
think this would be a problem right now.
Yeah, and if they were a small channel that said it, I don't think it would be a problem either.
No.
If it was like a channel with a few viewers and stuff like that, ain't nobody would care.
What's the biggest thing that you think the panel got wrong, like just dead wrong? that kind of like bugged you the most?
I think I guess with my take would be that the empathy towards the film might not have resonated. It does have a lot of things that do resonate with a lot of people, and that was a little bit missed, probably because those things did not resonate with them. And I can understand that. Like I said, once you add anything ethnic to something, you sometimes you have a few people out. But I think the empathy part was not augmented. But that's also part of the shtick.
I think probably the around the same lines too. I mean, yeah, they did center it a lot of around our culture and how we are. So somebody who didn't grow up living it might not understand it. So not necessarily anything that like bothered me. It was just they didn't like I don't know how I'm trying to say it. Like I can see that they weren't coming at it from like a bad place because they were trying to say, oh, why would they include these things? Like it looks really bad and offensive. And but if you didn't grow up with it, you don't know that that's how it is. That's just how we are.
Is there a line that you just can't cross, or is it just no holds barred? Like, hey, it's free speech. People can say whatever they want. It's their YouTube channel. Uh, and obviously, non Latino and Latino followers love these guys to death. We love them.
Mhm.
But what's the line? Is there a line? Because it's not just like I think this comes around whenever this group talks about anything that's ethnically diverse or cultural.
Yeah, I mean, I think there shouldn't be never be a line. I guess in my sense, because every time there's a line, it's dangerous. But I do think that when they're billing it as a comedy thing. It's like a hangout. It's like we hang out every Friday night at the comic book store, and this is how we riff. And even if I'm hanging around at the comic store with people that are Latino or non-Latino, everything is like fair game. It's on the table. Everybody says the most outrageous things. You can be sexist, anything like that. It doesn't matter. And I think that's the thing, because I know that if they knew that they crossed the line, I think they would be the first ones who would be like, "Oh, my bad, bro." So I think that's why it's iffy when we draw lines on this. And then I've said, go for it. Like you said, a lot, we follow them, we love them, so we know how they really are. So it's a joke.
Why would I set boundaries for someone else and then I know what I'm like in private with my friends too?
Yeah.
They're just broadcasting it for everyone. I mean, yeah, it's a hangout. You're just getting together with your friends and talking about what's going on in media. I mean, I've had these conversations with my friends as well about things that I probably just don't have a perspective on because I haven't lived it, but I have an opinion. So, yeah, no, I've already followed them for so many years. I know what they're like. They're not any of those things. Like Fletcher said, whenever they come up with all of these things, all of a sudden it's everywhere. They're all this, they're that. I mean, they're a popular channel. People are going to go after them. They want attention too.
Yeah.
Very well said. Would have been any different if one of us was on there during the live review? Like, let's bring Lily in, let's bring Mexican Iron Man in.
I don't think so, because I've seen them when they have Ivan on and when they have Stephanie on there too.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
Minority
mean, if you're good friends with people, you know that you're joking around. I mean, they all say so many things about each other and no one gets offended because everyone's friends. You do that with your friends.
Yeah, and it might have been worse because
Yeah.
then it'd be like they brought in the token, you know.
And they even joke around about that all the time with people that are on their panel, and everyone's cool with it because we know that it's a joke. It's not coming from a place where where it's, you know, full of hatred or whatever. Like, it's a joke. I was even joking
Right.
around with Gary. He put up like a meme on his Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, it's totally me with my friends. And it was like tacos.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been sending them
On
taco
me.
gifts like all this time.
People that were offended by these and on different levels I was, but so what? And I laughed it off. And then I said, okay, if we're gonna do this video, well, we're gonna have fun as well. And let me throw these people in a fucking taco, and you know,
That's cute.
now we have to come up with another thumbnail for this video. Maybe we'll put everyone's our own heads, like maybe in like, you know, like a bologna sandwich or something.
Oh, like meatloaf and hungry man
Meatloaf.
dinner.
But one last question for you guys. So, you know, people just don't have senses of humor nowadays. And cancel this, cancel that. Going after the Latinos that maybe like we're kind of backing them up, so to speak. You know, they're our friends. We follow them. There's that whole thing. Well, you know, you guys are sellouts. You know, you guys are just, you know, the diversity shield.
Where's the check, man? I think the majority of people know what's up. That real recognizes real, and that's why I think some of these things are just fake. Because anytime you meet somebody, you know, kind of like, okay, they're down and they're not down. You know, you have like a feeling for the person, and everybody that knows Gary knows that he's not none of these things. And everybody who's been around a lot of these people, they know that it's not like that. So I think these people that are just trying to get clout, like Lily said, they're just, you go after a major channel just because you want the clout, you want the likes.
Lily,
Yeah,
are you
absolutely.
Lily? Are you a diversity shield?
I am not a diversity shield. I am here willingly. Like what they said, well, there's no check, guys.
You're not being
I
held in
don't
the
get
room in
paid
the
for
back.
it. No, I don't get paid in tacos.
Ooh,
Darn it. Yeah, that's what everybody wants to get paid in tacos.
Yeah, but no. Like I said, like so many times already, they're good guys. They've done so many good things. It's just a different experience when you don't live through the thing. Because I've seen movies that really go into someone's culture, and I'm like, okay, I can, you know, identify on a level, but
mm,
then I'm like, okay, was that like meant to be offensive, or was that because I didn't live through it?
sure,
So to
yeah.
me, you know, to me, I'm like, no, they're not. They're not bad people. They're awesome, and I follow a lot of them, and they're super cool. If they weren't, I wouldn't be following them. I'm very
Yeah.
opinionated. You guys would have already known.
I have a strong you know, love and affection for Gary, uh, just as a guy who's cleaned up his act, who's sober, who's turned his life around on that level, and then what he's done over the last few years with, you know, yeah, it's so interesting how, and it's sad just how quickly offended we are, people have become nowadays. And I think the reactions that went overboard are just that. It's just an
Yeah.
example of that. Just an
And
example.
I mean, Chrissy is a comedian. She's not funny because she's nice.
Yeah. If Dave Chappelle would have said the same thing, everybody would be like, ah,
Exactly. And
right?
how many times have I laughed at things that Dave Chappelle has said and all these other comedians that are, yeah, they're crazy, but she's a comedian. I mean, come on.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're the Brown Council for Friday Night Tacos.
Or the brown siths.
Or something, man. Jesus. You know, but you know what, guys? Just if you guys are watching this, you know, again, when we did our video, we said this is not a personal attack. This is just our different opinions, how it would have been differently. But anything above that, when you deal with hate and dealing with like just being nasty, there's no place for that. Definitely not here on the slant. I want to thank 300 Mirrors. I want to thank Fletcher Williams. 300, you're going to start podcasting soon. Tell us the 411.
And it's on all the information is on my Twitter already. So you guys can actually see the stream link already, all the info, who's on the panel. So yeah, we're just going to be talking nerdy stuff, pop culture, anything that's happening like during the week. Just wrapping it up.
I love it. I love it. Fletcher.
Yeah, well, catch us here every Monday, and we'll be checking it out here at 12:30 every Monday with the Latino Slam. And check out my channel also, Suck at Game Channels, where I do a little pop culture and gaming.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Check out our other videos where we talk about it. So many good taco jokes. Wherever you're at, keep that slam fuerte. Catch you on the next one.